Most homeowners lose $30,000 before the first showing even happens. And I'm not talking about a bad market. I'm not talking about a bad agent. I'm talking about a loss that comes from upgrades they thought were helping them. Good intentions paving a very expensive road to a lower sale price. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 specific things you should never, ever touch before selling your home. This isn't just my opinion. This is the math, the hard numbers that show how each of these common improvements quietly destroys the equity you've worked so hard to build. Number 3 on this list, I've personally watched it cost sellers over $8,000 for something that I promise you ends up in a dumpster within 30 days of closing. It's a painful, completely avoidable mistake. And you'll want to stick around because number 7 is the one that always surprises people. It's the upgrade that feels so right, so logical, and it's probably on your pre-sale to-do list right now. Let's get started. First up, the biggest offender, the major kitchen remodel. You've seen the shows. You dream of the perfect chef's kitchen. You decide to spend $50,000 to create it before you sell. Here's the brutal reality. You'll get about $30,000 of that back. You just made a $20,000 donation to the new owner. That's not a renovation, it's charity. The buyer walks in, sees your very specific, very expensive Tuscan tile backsplash, and their brain doesn't say, "Wow, beautiful." It says, "Okay, how much will it cost to rip that out?" Their taste is not your taste. So what's the smart move? You paint the cabinets. That's $200. You swap out the dated hardware for something modern, $150. For $350, you just protected $49,650 in equity. Think about that. Next. Number 2, DIY repairs done wrong. We all want to save a buck, I get it. But here's what a potential buyer thinks when they see a patched wall that looks like a topographic map of the Rocky Mountains. If what I can see is this bad, what's hiding behind the walls? You've just introduced the iceberg effect. One sloppy patch job, one poorly installed light fixture signals to them that there could be a mountain of hidden problems. That one visible mistake is what triggers a $20,000 negotiation battle after the inspection. If you cannot do it to a professional standard, do not touch it. I'm serious. A dated faucet that works perfectly fine is infinitely more valuable than a brand new one you installed yourself that has a slow, confidence-killing drip. Number 3, the $8,000 dumpster fire I mentioned, new flooring. Unless your carpet looks like a crime scene, leave it completely alone. You think you're adding value. You're not. You're just picking the carpet that the new owner will hate the least before they rip it out. Buyers almost always have their own flooring plans, so that $8,000 you just spent on brand new builder-grade beige carpet, it's going straight to a landfill. The smart play is to have the existing carpets professionally steam cleaned for $200. It makes the whole house smell clean and look cared for. And here's a pro tip. If you have any reason to believe there's hardwood underneath that old carpet, pull up a corner. If it's there, tear the carpet out. Scratched, imperfect hardwood says investment and potential. Mediocre new carpet just says chore. Number 4 is what I call the roof panic. Every seller at some point panics about their roof. They think no one will buy my house with a 15-year-old roof, so they rush out and spend $20,000 on a brand new one. Stop. Unless it is actively leaking into your living room, do not replace it. Here's the chess move. You call 3 licensed, reputable roofers and get detailed, written estimates for a full replacement. You put that stack of quotes right on the kitchen counter during showings. When the buyer or their agent says, that roof looks like it's getting up there in age, you just point to the stack and say, "You're right. Here's a quote for $18,000 and we're prepared to offer that as a credit at closing." You've just completely neutralized their single biggest negotiation weapon before they could even think to use it. You controlled the narrative. You controlled the cost. Let's move outside to number 5, concrete and driveways. A cracked driveway can look bad, I agree, and your first instinct might be to get a quote for a full tear-out and replacement. That quote will come back at $15,000 or more. Here's the secret. Buyers don't really care about hairline cracks. What they care about is liability. They see a jagged, uneven piece of concrete and they picture their kid tripping or a delivery person falling and suing them. The problem isn't the crack, it's the hazard. So rent a power washer for 50 bucks and clean the entire thing. It will look 10 years younger. If there's a legitimate trip hazard, a jagged edge, pay a handyman $150 to grind it smooth. You just solved the actual problem and saved $14,800. That's a down payment on your next property. Number 6, windows. Window salesmen are absolute masters at one thing, terrifying you with complex energy savings charts. They'll show you how much you're losing every month through your old windows. But here's the part they conveniently forget to mention. You are selling the house. You will not be there to collect a single dime of those supposed savings. The next owner gets all the benefit, while you get the $10,000 bill. The data shows that vinyl windows, a common choice, return about 67 cents on the dollar. You are guaranteed to lose money. So, unless your windows are literally broken, painted shut, or won't open, don't touch them. All right, here we are at number 7, the one that gets everybody: elaborate landscaping. You have this vision, an outdoor kitchen, beautiful stone retaining walls, maybe a few imported Japanese maples. You spend $10,000, maybe $20,000 creating a backyard oasis. The buyer walks in and they don't think resort, they think maintenance. They see a second kitchen to clean. They see weekend after weekend of weeding, trimming, and upkeep. What you see as a feature, they see as a burden. You will not get that money back. The single most powerful, highest return landscaping secret weapon, mulch. $100 in fresh, dark mulch makes every plant pop. It makes the entire property look crisp, intentional, and cared for. That's it. Mow the lawn weekly, trim the edges, spread fresh mulch. You're done. Number 8 is the front door trap. You'll read articles online, maybe from a paint company or a door manufacturer, claiming that a new door has a 200% return on investment. That statistic is incredibly misleading. It's only true when the existing door is severely damaged or barely functional. If your door works perfectly fine but is just a bit dated, replacing it for $3,000 is just burning money to impress someone who is probably going to repaint it to match their own style anyway. So what do? You paint it. A quart of good exterior paint is $50. A stylish new handle set is $80. For $350, you just got the exact same curb appeal bump and saved almost $3,000. Coming in at number 9, window treatments. Please stop buying new blinds and curtains right before you sell. I know the old ones are dated, but the new buyer is going to take down whatever you put up. Window treatments are as personal as art. What actually works? Take the dated ones down, all of them. Patch the little nail holes for $10, touch up the paint, and leave the windows completely bare. It might feel strange, but here's the psychology. Bright, light-filled rooms feel bigger and sell faster than dark, shadowy ones. And nothing makes a room feel like it's trapped in 1987 faster than a set of dusty floral valances. Let the light in. It's free. Finally, number 10. This is without a doubt the single worst investment decision in all of real estate. Over-improving for the neighborhood. This is when you dump $150,000 into a stunning renovation of your modest ranch home in a neighborhood where the average sale price is $250,000. You then try to list your home for $400,000. The appraiser will say no, the buyer's bank will say no, the market will say no. The value of your home is not determined by your renovation budget. It's determined by comparable sales, what similar homes nearby have recently sold for. That sets the ceiling. Trying to break that ceiling is like Blockbuster passing on the opportunity to buy Netflix. You're betting against the entire market. Don't be Blockbuster. So, we've covered what not to do, but I want to leave you with a powerful tactic that almost nobody uses. Buyers today aren't just scared of the purchase price, they're terrified of the monthly cost of actually owning your home. The mortgage, the taxes, the utilities. So here's what you do. Pull your last 12 months of gas and electric bills. If they're reasonably low, create a simple one-page printout or a little graph. Put it in a frame right there on the kitchen counter next to those roof estimates. It could say, our average monthly electric bill is only $87. That's not just information, that's marketing. It removes a huge unspoken fear from a buyer's mind and builds a massive amount of trust all at the same time. Selling smart isn't about being cheap. It's about being strategic. It's about knowing which dollar you spend will come back as two and which one is going to disappear forever. So skip the ego projects. Stop letting the big box hardware stores fund their quarterly earnings off your home sale. Get focused on the small things that make a huge financial impact. And before you even think about setting a price, be warned. Most of the online portals you use are deliberately mispricing your home. It's not by accident. There's a system at play, and in our next session, I'll show you exactly how it works and, more importantly, how to fight back.